Madhav Kunja Bihari Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Amasvat Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Sattare Srismad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki Jai Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki Jai Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Jai Sri Radha Krishna Bhog Gopinath Sam Khand Radha Khand Girivardhan ki Jai Vrindavan Dham ki Jai Navadvip Dham ki Jai Ganga Mai की जाए जमुना माई की जाए गुरु द्वारका धाम की जाए स्वामी तो भक्तविंद की जाए और ग्लोरी टू देयर सिमर और ग्लोरी टू देयर सिमर थैंक यू वेरी मच
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 26th chapter, text number 9. Devahutirvacha Prakritev Purushasyapi Lakshanam Purushottama Bruhi Karanayorasya Sadasachyadatmakam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Devahuti said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, kindly explain the characteristics of the Supreme Person and His energies, for both of these are the causes of this manifest and unmanifest creation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prakriti or material nature is connected with both the Supreme Lord and the living entities, just as a woman is connected with her husband as a wife and with her children as a mother. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that He impregnates Mother Nature with children, living entities, and thereafter all species of living entities become manifest. The relationship of all living entities with material nature has been explained. Now, an understanding of the relationship between material nature and the Supreme Lord is sought by Devahuti. The product of that relationship is stated to be the manifest and unmanifest material world. The unmanifest material world is the subtle Mahat Tattva, and from that Mahat Tattva, the material manifestation has emerged. In the Vedic literatures, it is said that by the glance of the Supreme Lord, the total material energy is impregnated, and then everything is born of material nature. It is also confirmed in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that under his glance, Adhyakshena, under his direction and by his will, nature is working. It is not that nature works blindly. After understanding the position of the conditioned souls in relation to material nature, Devahuti wanted to know how nature works under the direction of the Lord and what the relationship is between the material nature and the Lord. In other words, she wanted to learn the characteristics of the Supreme Lord in relation to the material nature. The relationship of the living entities with matter and that of the Supreme Lord with matter are certainly not on the same level, although the Mayavadis may interpret it in that way. When it is said that the living entities are bewildered, the Mayavadi philosophers ascribe this bewilderment to the Supreme Lord. But that is not applicable. The Lord is never bewildered. That is the difference between personalists and impersonalists. Devahuti is not unintelligent. She has enough intelligence to understand that the living entities are not on the level of the Supreme Lord. Because the living entities are infinitesimal, they become bewildered or conditioned by material nature. But this does not mean that the Supreme Lord is also conditioned or bewildered. The difference between the conditioned soul and the Lord is that the Lord is the Lord, the master of material nature, and he is therefore not subject to its control. He is controlled neither by spiritual nature nor by material nature. He is the supreme controller himself, and he cannot be compared to the ordinary living entities who are controlled by the laws of material nature. Two words used in this verse are Sat and Asat. The cosmic manifestation is Asat. It does not exist. But the material energy of the Supreme Lord is Sat, or ever existing. Material nature is ever existing in its subtle form as the energy of the Lord, but it sometimes manifests this non-existent or temporarily existent nature, the cosmos. An analogy may be made with the father and mother. The mother and the father exist, but sometimes the mother begets children. Similarly, this cosmic manifestation, which comes from the unmanifest material nature of the Supreme Lord, sometimes appears and again disappears. But the material nature is ever existing, and the Lord is the supreme cause for both the subtle and gross manifestations of this material world. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 26th Chapter, Text number 9, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on December 21st, 1974, in Bombay, India.
Prakite purusasyapi lakshanam purushottama bruhi karanayam asya sadasat cha jadasmakam. So Kapildev is addressed here as Purushottama. Purushottama are the living entities, the super soul, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Living entities are sometimes called purusha because purusha means enjoyer. So the living entities wants to enjoy this material world, although he is not enjoyer. We have explained many times. The living entities, that is also Prakriti, but he also wants to enjoy. That is called illusion. So, in his enjoying temperament, he may be called purusha. Illusory purusha. Real purusha is Bhagavan. Purusha means bhokta. The bhokta, real bhokta, enjoyer, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Bhoktaram jagadavasam sarvalok maheswaram. So, devotee wants elucidation of the characteristics of purusha and prakriti. So, purusha is one, but prakriti, there are many energies. Prakriti, energy. Just like we have got practical experience that husband and wife, the wife is supposed to be the energy. The husband works day and night very hard, but when he comes home, the wife gives him comfort, eating, sleeping, mating, in so many ways. He gets fresh energy. Especially the Kurmis, they get energy by the behavior and service of the wife. Otherwise, the Kurmis cannot work. Anyway, the energy principle is there. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, he has got also energy. In the Vedanta Sutra, we understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original source of everything, Brahma, Athatam Brahma Jignasa. That Brahma, in one quote, Vasudev described that Janmashtami Jata, the Brahma, Supreme Absolute Truth, is that from whom everything comes. So unless this principle is there, that Brahma, the Absolute Truth, is also energized or worked with his energies. Otherwise, why this conception comes within this material world? The material world is a shadow, reflection of the spiritual world. Unless the original thing is there in the spiritual world, it cannot be reflected in the material world. So purusha is accompanied by varieties of energies. In the Upanishad it is stated, natasya karyam karanancha vidyate, natasya sama adhikasya dishyate, parasya shakti vividhaiva siyate. Para, the Supreme Lord, Absolute Truth, has multi-energy. So, the multi-energy is divided into three divisions. That is called Antaranga Shakti, internal energy, external energy, and the marginal energy. All of them are energies, or prakriti. So, in the Sankhya philosophical discussion, Devotee, she is also the mother of Kapil Dev. She asked this intelligent question, what are the characteristics of the Prakriti and what are the characteristics of the Purusha? Prakriti Purusasyapi Lakshanam Purushottam. He is addressing his son, Kapil Dev, God, as Purushottama, Uttama Purush, Uttama, Madhyama, and Adhama. This is comparative. So Uttama Purusha is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, or his incarnation like Kapiladev, Rishabdev. There are many incarnations. So they are all Purushottama. So far, in this material conception of life, there are two Purushas, one the living entity and the other is the super soul. So above this, living entity is the Adhama Purusha and the super soul is the Madhyama Purusha, and Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Uttama Purusha, the Supreme. And in this material world, the Adhama Purusha is called also Nitya-Baddha. But similarly, there are other living entities in the spiritual world. They are called Nitya-Mukta or Nitya-Siddha. They never come in this material world. Just like Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he describes some comparison that the sea fishes, they never come to the river. The river fishes sometimes go to the sea, but the sea fishes, they never come to the river. Similarly, there are living entities in the spiritual world. They never come in this material world. Their number is greater, at least 3 times greater than all the living entities within this material world. And the super soul, he is also living entity, but superior, super soul. Soul and super soul. The super soul is also living along with these ordinary living entities. They are friends, that is described in the Upanishad, that 2 birds are sitting on one tree. One bird is eating the fruit and the other bird is simply witness. Paramatma upadashta anumanta. That is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Paramatma is existing within our heart. Ishvara sarva bhutana riddesha arjuna tishtati. He is simply upadrashta. He is not enjoying. He has no interest to enjoy this material world. But the other bird, the living entity, he is trying to enjoy this material world. And according to his karma, upadrashta, I wanted to do something or I have done something, the resultant action I will have to enjoy or suffer in the next life. The witness is the Paramatma, Sakshi, Upadashta Anumanta, Antarjami, Sakshi. We cannot do anything without the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Paramatma feature. He is fulfilling our desires and waiting for the opportunity when the living entity will give up this business of eating the fruit of this body, of the tree, and simply become engaged, again come back to the super soul. That opportunity he is looking after. So, the Christian philosophers, they do not believe in the Paramatma feature, and they say that if I am punished for my past deeds, then who is the witness? Because in the court, if somebody is charged with criminality, there must be some witnesses. So, we heard a Christian professor in our college, they did not believe in this witness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is witness within the heart. Witness must be. This is very intelligent. That without witness, how my charges upon me can be substantiated. The witness is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Upadishta, Anumanta. He is seeing everything. So that is Purusha also. And we are also Purusha. And above these two Purusha, the Supreme Purusha is Krishna, as it is described in the Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, Purushottam Yoga. So, Burhi Karanaya Rasa Sadasatcha Jadatmakam. So, the Uttama Purusha, Purushottam, just like Krishna or Kapildev, they come within this material world, but they are not affected. But we are affected. We are, according to our desire and condition, we are affected by the different modes of material nature. It is described in the Vedic literature just like the fire and the spark. The fire is always blazing, but the sparks coming out of the fire, they sometimes fall down. And this falling down is described that if the spark falls on some dry grass, then immediately the grass is also ignited into fire. That is Satagun. And Rajagun means on the ground. Gradually, the ignition, the fire of the spark becomes finished. And if the spark falls down on some water, then immediately it is extinguished. Similarly, when we come down from the spiritual world on account of desire, Ichcha desha samuthena sarge janti parantapo, by our Ichcha, Krishna gives us to fulfill our desires. So, as we contact with the different modes of material nature, we are situated either in Satagun or Rajagun or Tamagun. And our different characteristics are visible. But the Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is never become affected by the material nature. This is the general description of the Purusha and Purushottama